I turned in my papers, and they said it was going to be about 10 days, and so I waited my 10 days. I didn't sleep for half of those days. There were nights that my roommates had to come and get me at 3 a.m. and off the couch and tell me to go to bed. And I just couldn't handle it. And so finally, I remember the Wednesday. It was supposed to come that day. And I was so excited. I was telling everyone in my classes, oh, my mission call's coming today. And they're like, oh, we can't wait to hear about it. And I remember coming home from classes, and I knew exactly when my mailman was supposed to be there. So I came home from classes, ran straight for the mailbox, opened the mailbox, and the Ensign was sitting in there. And I was so disappointed. I could not handle it. And so it was like a deflated balloon, just like, and I just kind of flopped there. And I was like, well, didn't come today. And I kind of like moped around the house for 2 days and checked the mail the next day. I was like, it's not gonna be there, and it wasn't. And then the next day I was talking to a bunch of girls in my dance class, and they were saying that they were expecting their calls too, but their calls hadn't come yet either. And so that gave me a little bit of hope. And the next day I went and I found my mailman. I tracked him down and I said, you have my mission call, and I know it, and I need it. And he was like, well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. And then he handed it to me, and I drove home super fast, probably faster than I should have, all the way to Salt Lake. And I told my parents, I'm going to open it right now. And they're like, no, we have people coming over tomorrow. And I was like, what if I don't like where I'm going? And they're like, okay, that's true. And so I opened it with my parents, and I remember looking at the paper and reading the Ohio-Cincinnati mission, and I just like, I thought I was supposed to go somewhere I've never been before. I've been to Cincinnati exactly a year from the date that said I was supposed to report to the MTC. I was in Cincinnati. And my mom and dad, they kind of sat there, and of course they were happy for me, but the first thing that my mom said, was, looks like you're going to have to take a math class then, because you're not going to be able to test out of a language. And it's like, oh, thanks, Mom. That was awesome. But then when I sealed it back up and put it back in the envelope, and then the next day when my family and friends came over, I opened it with them, and I could pretend to be really excited, but really the night before I had cried myself to sleep because I wasn't super excited about going to Ohio. But the minute I got into the mission field, I never looked back, never wanted to be anywhere else. I could definitely feel that Cincinnati was where I needed to be.